Okay, I have the green light showing that I am streaming. We are live and recording. We are live. We are live. Yes. Hello. This is stream number 53, I think. Finishing and refactoring the GUI. So this is the GUI of the tool I'm working on. Hex editor here. We have these nice highlights which have some artifacts in them, which hopefully I'll fix at some point. And then we have this nice data tree with the resizable headers. Slick. All written in eGUI. So what I wanted to work on today is the highlighting of these rows when I mouse over them, and also selecting a row should highlight them even more strongly. So having the code in C# already, I think it's just time to try to make this work. And then I really do need to refactor this library because it's really messy. Yeah, so here's the highlighting for a selected row. I need to check to see if we have highlighting for mouse over. Maybe we didn't add that. That's for expandable. That's if it's selected. That's the background. That's the column header. Okay, so I don't have a highlight specifically for mouse over, but how about we do the selected first? So I'm going to look for selected row. Okay, so it's a public property in the C# version. And if it changes, we redraw. Why am I visiting the root? Oh, I see. This is finding which row on the GUI the actual row selected is on so that we can scroll to it. Okay, I don't think I specifically need that yet, but later that'll be really useful. It's like if you click on a byte somewhere in the hex editor, it should like scroll the data tree to make the row visible. Okay, if we remove a row and it was selected, we unselect it. That makes sense. If you click a row, it is selected. If we're within its bounds vertically, and I guess this is saying we're beyond the I don't know what to call it. The point here, like between the word and the symbol. If we're to the right of that, we're selecting. So because that point depends on the level, we have a level in there in the code. Okay. So if it's selected, we draw the rectangle with the highlight brush. Okay, and it looks like, yeah, when we're drawing text, if it's in the selected row, we use a selection text brush rather than a normal text brush. Okay. All right. So how about we support, to begin with, hovering over. Hovering over. So in this area here where we're getting the size and we have this hover here, actually while we're here, we're going to also want to do like supporting clicking, right? Hover and click. Click and hover. Click and hover. I think click supports hover also. Hover is what? Hover's all these things false. Click and hover for click. Okay. That's what we want. So yeah, I think before we actually start drawing here, we should be able to change the selection or change the hover. So we should like try to figure out what row we're hovering over. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, I could just do it here. If, so we're actually using this response now. If response hovered. The pointer is hovering above this widget, or the widget was clicked or tapped this frame. Note that this is slightly different from checking response rect contains. For one, the hover rectangle is slightly larger by half of the current item spacing to make it easier to click things. Also, hovered also checks that no other area is covering this response rectangle. Fair enough. So yeah, we're probably going to want to collect the hover location. I think what we want to do is while we're visiting these rows, before we draw the text, which is down here somewheres, all these lines, right? Actually, this is where we would draw the selection, so that's probably also where I want to draw the hover rectangle. Yeah. But we're going to want to know this column indent also. Yeah, okay. Hold on a sec. Bad cat and knocked out one of my figurines last night. You were a bad cat. You were being bad. I think she wants to play with you though. Okay. Coming back. All right. Yeah, okay. So why don't we just collect it here? So let like hover row like actually I won't know which row. So let's get hover position. So if we're hovered, let's take out the position from it. Interact position. Don't know if this is the right one. So option position. Oh, so do I not need the if hovered? This is for clicking. Okay, I guess I need the hover position. None of the pointers outside the response area, so I could just use the hover position. And I don't need an if. Optional position. Okay. So yeah, this commented out code. Let's put it in here. So yeah, so I could pre-calculate this indent, right? Column indent. Yeah, it's the same. I don't know why I calculate it twice anyway. We can just bring this out. And then I don't need to calculate it inside here or in the else, because the first loop through it'll be 0. And yeah, don't need to do that. Or that. So do we need to add to it? I don't think so. Cool. So this doesn't take into account the canvas offset. Oh, X has the canvas offset. Hold on. X has the canvas offset. So then it's already accounted for, I think. Hey there, A squared. How are you? Looking at ugly GUI code. GUI, ugly code. Ew. So really it's if let some hover position equal hover position. Then we're going to possibly draw a highlight if if hover position dot y is greater than or equal to y, and hover position dot y is less than y plus row height, and x is greater than or equal to column indent. Then we're going to draw a rectangle. It's quite the indentation you have here. Yeah, that means we need to refactor. We need to refactor this badly. Badly. Must refactor. Okay, so I'm drawing a rectangle where? Looking for a rectangle with a fill. I don't think I actually am drawing any filled rectangle yet. Okay, well, it'll be UI.painter.fill, rec filled. Here we go. All right, so we just need to know the rectangle. Rounding. Same row highlight rounding, because rounding is cool, right? And then the fill color. So let's do like a row hover highlight color. Or how about row highlight hover color? Because we'll have, or should I do a row highlight color hover, and then I'll have a row highlight color selected. Okay, the rectangle itself from min max, I think, right? Well, no, from min size, from 2 points. From min max and from 2 points are almost the same things, right? I think we'll do min max. So this is a position 2. X, or column X, column indent. And Y is Y. And then max is position 2 is the right edge of the clipping rectangle. I guess that's what, clip rect? Clip rect. Clip rect dot right. Y is Y. No, Y is Y plus row height. Okay, so I need to define these. And that's all I need to do. Let's make it 5.0. Color 32 is, let's pick like dark gray. Here we go. It doesn't look like it worked. Because it's not filling it. It's not working. Let's try to see if we get into here, right? Let's do a DBG. Ah, come on, man. How long can I stick with this keyboard before I get so irritated that I switch back to a non-Raimu made keyboard? Well, we have a hover. Oh, when we're on top of it, the hover position doesn't change. There's something about being over one of these where we're not printing it. Do I have the logic reversed? Hey, Gnarly Quack. What's your keyboard? My keyboard we made last year on this stream. The 36 key keyboard with lots of layers that I made here on Twitch. So we're not actually printing this when we're actually hovering over the rows, which is weird. It's just that sometimes I get frustrated because I hit the wrong combination. I have to do like a whole bunch of shifting to do symbols and numbers, and it's been over a year and I'm still not used to it. Maybe I need to adjust the hold times on it. I like it most of the time. It's when I start struggling with the shifting. And it's not the keyboard, it's me. It's like, well, or it's a difference between the timing set in the keyboard for the tap mod tap, or it's you know, between that and how fast I actually move. Yeah. Okay, so I think the problem is we're getting another rectangle inside here after we've done that. So I think what happens is this rectangle actually gets the hovers if we're inside of that rectangle. So I actually need to move, well, we have to ignore this one and move this into here, and I think that might fix it. I think what happens was when you have overlapping allocated areas, the responses don't stack. Ah, look at that. It works. Although we're not drawing the okay, we're drawing the symbols a little late. Or is it still there? No, it's completely overdrawing it. Okay, so we're drawing it a little too late. So I think that just means we have to move it. We gotta move this. Gotta move it up. Or hold on, wait a minute. Wait. I shouldn't be overdrawing those lines. Okay, it's drawing too far to the left. Oh, wait. I have to add, what was it called? The canvas. Offset.x plus that. That's probably what it is, and this will work now, right? Yay, look at that. Okay. Maybe we should turn the text into a different color if we're highlighting the row. So let's do something like this. Really, this should be refactored out, right? But I'm going to persist in my unrefactored fill. So let me use highlighted or highlight text. False. Because I don't want to put another like assignment around this one. I just want to say like here, true. Okay, and then this down here, when we actually draw the text. Actually, I have a better idea. Let's have the text color default to default text color, or actually need two of them, right? Because there's the color. Hold on, I'm bringing up a picture to illustrate. I wanted the text in this first column to actually be brighter, right? Or I wanted it to possibly be a different color. And then the text for the value is a different color. So let's say first column color. And then default column color? No. Non-first column color? Highlighted. Okay, let's pick some colors. Make them constant for now. Yeah, it's this data color. Let's do white. Okay, and then we're getting rid of that. Okay, so then first, this is highlighted. Highlighted. Why is this an error? Free constant item without body. Oh. That would be this. Lack of type. I think it's no, without the ED. No, it is with the ED. Okay, what color to print? Maybe white for both for now. Till I pick something nice. It's very black and white. Okay, so this is which column? The first one. So this is first column color. And this one's non-first column color. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, it didn't use the right color for first column color. Oh, probably because there's more than one column, and this should be, let's just call it column color. Let's say let column color equals if column equals 0, first column color, else non-first column color. What's the problem here? Ah, dereference. No? Oh, column number. Okay. Maybe white is not the best because it's the same color as the controls to the left of it. Highlighted though, I think it should be white. So that means that we're just tweaking these colors now, right? So maybe this should be gray for now. So at least I have control over what different colors for first and non-first, even if they are the same right now. Okay, so second thing I want to do is I want to be able to click to select. So it means it has to remember what row is selected, and we're going to need some extra colors, right? So I have hover, now we'll have select. Let's make that one blue. Light blue? Actually, if I make it make it a very bright color, then I'm probably going to want these colors to be different if it's selected versus hovered. So what if I rename these to be hovered? And we'll make this selected. I'm guessing that if we have light blue, we're going to want to make these black or gray. Just guessing. Okay, which means I'm going to want this. Oh, never mind. Hover position. Does it tell us if we clicked it? I guess it doesn't. I guess I want a different position if it's clicked. Response. Interact pointer position. So we're only sensing clicks, not drags, right? So I think click position is going to override hover position. Okay, here I think I do want to refactor this because otherwise it's going to be very redundant. Here, we'll make it ugly so that we can make it cleaner later. Actually, it's not click position, it's selected position. And then if there is a click position, then we want to override the row. Yeah, so hold on. It's a little bit different. If we clicked one, and the position, and we're over that position, then we actually just want to change the selection. So hold on, we still want this, but not quite yet. Wrong key. There we go. So this would be self dot, okay, I don't have it yet. I need to add it to the state. Like selection, selected row. Option, row token. It's going to default to none. Okay, and then so self.selected row equals some row row index. Do I have a row token? Need to have a row token. Aha. Now I have a row token. Except it didn't like this. Cannot borrow immutable because it's also immutable. What? Oh. Ooh. Okay, so wait. We're borrowing self to go into this visitor. Oh, right. That's why I have this. That's why. Where was I? Where was I? In this horrible code right here. This selected row. Oh, I want immutable access. Oh, shoot. It's immutable. Right, I remember there was a lot of problems if it didn't. Okay, so rather than making self-mutable, what I chose to do is have a result, and then we would act on the result if we wanted a side effect of visiting. So then I think what I want to do is we can just say one thing we can. Well, we're only possibly doing one thing, so let's have like a mutable new selection equals none. And then, so this will return new selection. And then this will say new selection. What keyboard option did you miss? Hey, there is, Matt. Keyboard opinion? I don't think you missed anything. It's all the chat's up there. Oh, Gnarly Quack saying I didn't like it. It's not that I don't like my keyboard. It's that sometimes I start mistyping, and I get a little frustrated. It's hard. It's even a year after making this, it's hard to get my error rate to 0 on things like I have to shift to do symbols and a different shift to do numbers. So if I have numbers, if I'm alternating punctuation and numbers, I'm alternating thumb shifts, and it's really slow. So maybe one thing to consider would be if I'm shifting to do symbols or navigation, but mostly shift, maybe I have like another shift key that I can switch to numbers without moving my left thumb. You know, because alternating between numbers and punctuation is hard for me right now. Okay, this is how we change selection. So I think what I'll do is we'll actually figure out if it is selected. And the new selection should override it, right? New selection, map, row token to, well, selected row token. Actually, this should just map to true. Or row token. I think it's or else, right? What is map? Map or else it only works for it's in a Boolean context, right? Right, or else returns another option. Uh, Actually, I don't even need a function here. So if new selection is none, I wanted to try to look and see if the selection is the current row we're on. So I kind of want an and then or then or else is the only option I got. I guess that's what I want. I want an or else, and then I want to map that. I guess I want this to be mapped to true, which means that it's is some. But what if I have this one return? What if I have this one return an or? Then actually this would be this would be mapped to true, or is some. Yeah. No, it would be mapped to true. So it's an option Boolean. Yeah, I still have trouble and struggle through what do you call these things? Like option and I don't know, there's probably a really nice term in the cheat sheet. I guess there isn't a term for these, but these things, right? That the cheat sheet is useful for. So options and results and like unwrapping, mapping, and or okay, all that stuff. So if we have a new selection, it overrides the current selection. So we get just an optional bool. That's an optional bool. Option bool is fn1's output is bool. Or it's or else, right? Or do an or cell or this dot selected row dot map. Yeah, exactly. So then I don't really need to map this, do I? Oh no, I just do an unwrap at the end. Well, unwrap or false, I guess. Selected row equals row token. It's an optional use size, yes. If it is anything, I want it to be true. Okay, there we go. It's bool. So if new selection is something, then it's true, but I don't want to unwrap yet because if it's none, I want it to try the previously selected row. If it is something, then if we're not on that row, it might still be false. There's probably a better way of doing this, but I'm just going to go with this. So if is selected, then we're doing this stuff. Okay. And at the very end, I got to update the selection if new selection got set to true. If, and that's optional. Shouldn't be a unit though. That's wrong. Should be an optional use size. Oh. I have to actually return this. Wait. Why is it an optional unit? Because I said so up here. What is that parameter again? Optional result. Oh, because it could chain from other things. Yeah, so this should be like new select. So this should go here. And that's mutable. What? Oh, get rid of that. Okay, so that should be optional use size. Great. Collapse that guy. Self.selected row equals new selection. Let's try it out. Time to work, gnarly quack. Okay. Something you struggle with, have a 50% size split keyword. Sometimes you want to throw it out and go back to normal keywords. Yeah, I have moments like that. Okay, now if I click and hold, it's actually highlighting all the rows. Okay, so it's broken. Also, I don't think I'm using the right colors. Yeah, this should be like selected. And selection, right? I think it's ending up selecting all rows. Yeah. And that color is sort of drab. Do I just want to use blue, not light blue? Just blue. Maybe even dark blue. We will try the different colors. Okay, but not black. I want something lighter than that. But not super light. I guess we're making our own color. Let's turn up a little bit of the just go to 31, 25, 255. Just turning up the saturation a tiny bit. A little bit more. To 1/4. That's not bad. I think black is a bad choice though. Let's go back to white for these. But I do have to fix something, right? It's not keeping the selection. It's also selecting every row. Huh, if we drag like it. Okay, why is it highlighting every row? Probably because new selection is set. Oh. This should be this should be, oh, I see what this is going to turn into. This is going to turn into the same thing. So then I don't need to do this map. I can just do this or else, right? And then move the map out. No, I just do the or, right? Or returns an option. Yeah, so this should be like new selection or this selected row. Unwrap or map unwrap or That's easier said as unwrap or else, right? Or map or else. I guess it is map, unwrap, or false. Okay, the other problem is when I release the mouse, the selection disappears. I think that's because the way I set up this, the return value, it's unconditional, right? What it should be is if it's sum, if let sum new selection, then do that. But now the type is wrong. So then this new selection needs to be like sum. So I think what I got to do is this now an unwrap or this selected row, right? Yeah. Okay, let's try that. And then if I want to like clear the selection by clicking outside of any row. Yeah, see, now it remembers a selected row. Okay, and it's changing the selection if I click out here, which I don't want. Actually, that's a problem with the hover in general, right? It shouldn't hover over it if I click on these. It's only taking the y coordinate into account. Don't need the debug anymore. Oh, it's this problem again. Canvas offset plus. I made that mistake before. Different coordinate systems. Oh, that needs to be .x. So those coordinate system differences, I can fix that when I refactor these out to functions. I can just pre-compute that. Okay, now it's not selecting it ever. Oh, wait, no, I'm wrong. The column indent, I think, has the column offset baked in, or it needs to be subtracted. No, this is just the row height. So that is correct. But it's not x, it's click position.x. Hover position.x. Ugh. Being weighed down by bad code. There. So now it only hovers when the mouse is over it. If I click, it doesn't select it unless I'm over it. So now I can open and close this, and it remembers what the selected row is. Now I kind of remember why I had like paddings, because like that rectangle is slicing that O right on its edge. If I had a nice padding, it would look a little bit nicer, right? Oh, also, it shouldn't go all the way out to that, shouldn't it just end here? And we have that overdraw problem. Do I really care about that? Maybe I do. This should not draw beyond the edge. Actually, I think I'm going to allow the highlight to go all the way to the edge, even if the column width is not like that. In fact, I'm thinking that this column width, we should just ignore it for the last column. It should just go out to the end. And if like we do something like this, I think we just, if we just don't draw the other columns. Okay, so let's back this up. So to stop on the columns, how would I do that? I think what I would do is if we know it's the last column, so we have to pre-compute what the last column is. Let last column num columns. Self dot columns dot length. So here, right? If either x plus the column width is greater than the clipping rectangle edge, or it's the last column. So if x plus column, well, we can pre-compute that. Let next x equal x plus column width. If next x is greater than, do I have that clipping rectangle? I do. Clip rect.right or x plus, or column number plus 1 equals num columns. X equals clip rect right. We should have another thing, another early escape. If x is greater than or equal to clip rect right, return none. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay. GUI stuff isn't the most fun. Okay, so that went way to the right. Okay, it's completely ignored. Oh, I see what's going on. What shouldn't even, it's only using this logic for figuring out for drawing. Ah, so I gotta do the same thing here. So really, this needs to be refactored out as like enumerate columns or something like that, right? Ah, so I gotta repeat this. So this is when we're actually drawing them. Just pull that out to there. Any would be false. And this is just the dragging thing, right? So I still need to do a third time where we're actually drawing. Where do we actually draw them? That's the icons. Where am I drawing it? Up here. Yeah, so it's column offset in this one. Yep, and I need the column number. So an enumerate gives me in what order? Column number first. But then I need the width. How did I get the width before? Call. So it's call dot. And we need the number of columns before we get to here. So it's not that we're returning, it's that we're just breaking out. Yeah. Definitely need to refactor that into a function of some kind. Oh, ugly. Well, that didn't quite work. I think it's because of the extra add. Didn't actually want to do that. Ooh. I do want that. But this is like column width. And we're computing column width up here. Column width equals column width. And then if column offset plus column width, if that's true, then column width is that minus column offset. Else, there is no else. Mute. It's a bit different then. All right. I'm not looking forward to this refactoring that I'm going to have to do. It's still drawing too far to the right. And I can't drag it anymore. Well, yeah, that makes sense that I wouldn't be able to drag it. But okay, the problem is it's not drawing all the way to the edge. Well, that's yet another thing I gotta do, right? That's where I actually draw these rectangles, right? This header rect, bottom right. All right, it's this column width again. Column width. Now it's drawing it off the edge. So I got that one wrong too. Column offset starts at 1, so, oh. Shouldn't it be? It's the fact that I'm adding the canvas offset there. So this clip rect right is wrong. Unless the column offset is baked into, unless I start here at this is canvas offset X. Okay, and then I gotta be careful here. This should be canvas offset.y. And this should be row height plus canvas offset.y. Don't add this. And don't add canvas offset again to the X. What a pain. Correct. Okay, I think it's correct now. My goodness, this is complicated. Okay, it's almost right. It's going a little bit too far. It's drawing a little bit too far. It's going all the way right to that edge and not it's skipping some of the, I think like the clipping rectangle is wrong. UI available size. Can I DBG this? Can't make it smaller than that. Eh. Eh. So it's an absolute window position. So I guess I don't want to use the clipping rectangle, do I? This clip rect, what? It should be this header rect. The right edge of the header rect. Let me DBG this and compare it to the clipping rectangle. Okay, they're off by 18 pixels. The clipping rectangle is extending beyond the header rectangle. In fact, that's completely wrong. I think what I need to do is restrict it to the header rect. I don't want to use the UI clip rect there. So this, come on, select that, select delete. There we go. So when I get the header rectangle, and I get the clipping rectangle, I think what I want to do is actually recalculate it as let clip rect equal clip rect intersect the header rect. And then I want UI.set clip rect to that header rect. But that's only for the header, right? Then when I get down to the actual scrollable area. Oh, well, there I'm setting it there. Okay, that's good. Then it should be fine. TB Schneider, how you doing? And Drevestead, how you doing? We're messing around with the user interface. I'm trying to get this header to like align correctly, but it's still not quite right. It's still a little bit too far to the right. I made it so that it doesn't matter what the last visible column's width is anymore. It's like it only displays it should end the header early. Like and it'll extend all the way to use all that space. There's one problem though. I think that the that last column width is not going to be applied for the values. So if the values overdraw, like if I made it like a really long string. Oh, I never hit save. Well, that would do it. That would be why it didn't fix just now, right? I'm like, what I just did should have worked. Yeah, there we go. Okay, but it's cutting it a little bit too aggressively. See that? Like it's dimmer on the top on the right than the bottom on the left. It's kind of hard to see that. So, what was it that I used that was the magnifier? Magnus. There we go. I should try to make this oh, I have to detach that, right? Or just hide this. So see that top line is dimmer than the bottom line? It might be hard to see. It's because it's being partially clipped, I think. Hold on a sec. The cat politely asked for entry to eat. So I suppose then I should back off on the clipping rectangle a little bit. Or, you know, what I should do is I should draw the header boxes before I apply the clipping rectangle. Except for then the header won't correctly clip. But I can fix that. Okay, so then we won't do this. Well, hold on. I think I want to do this when we're drawing the actual text. Actually, we already are. Okay, so we already are. So then this should be like header rect. Right, it should be header rect is intersecting with the clipping region. Actually, I don't need to. I don't need to do that. I can just delete this. Don't use clip rect here, use header rect instead. Yeah, that's what I'll do. It still seems like it's off. Am I like, clip rect? Let's not do that one. That might be what it was going on. I don't know if I need to set this now anymore. Whoops. Okay, now it looks better. Although there's this weird, can I just open a shell here and just keep Magnus up? Move Magnus to this side. Okay. Where are you, Magnus? There you are. There's like a weird smearing at the top. That used to happen with these dotted lines that I had, right? But I fixed that by rounding. Maybe I need to do the same thing with the header rectangles because there's a weird smearing going on. I think it has to do with their coordinates. But maybe I really just shouldn't care. Okay, I wanted to test what happens when I make a really long string. Like that's in info overlay. Yeah. Make it really long. I think what's going to happen is it's going to too aggressively clip. Yeah, see that? It's aggressively clipping because that's the actual column width, but it's the last column, so it should extend all the way to the right. That it should only start clipping when I get to that point. That should ignore that last column's width. So I think again, where we're doing the values, I need to like, if it's the last column, then use the right edge of the clipping rectangle for that. Or header rectangle, really. So it'd be the header rectangle's right. Okay, so that would be where we set the clipping rectangle when we're drawing data. Ooh! Oh, the cat used the litter box and it really stinks. Hold on a sec. No, you did it right. Why does it smell so much? I'll just run the fan. Woo-hoo. Stinks. Cat poop. What GUI library do I use? Using eGUI. But this jumbled mess is my own fault. I just haven't refactored it at all. And I ported it from C# code that had an equally bad indentation problem. So what happens when you port bad code is you get ported bad code. Okay, that's the highlights. So there's no problem with the highlights, right? It's where we go into this column, the column rows. Yes, it's this inner bounds, right? Clip rect width minus column indent. Why are we taking the width? Probably because we set the clipping rectangle up here somewhere. Right here? Clipping rectangle set to what? Oh, that's set way up here. Hold on, I gotta find out where it is. Right up here, it's the available size. Okay, that's not the problem. So this one's fine. It's when we go into this else that it's not fine, right? Yeah, because okay. Um, we have to have we don't want to use the column width if it's the last column. So let's pre-compute that. Let column width equals, oh, it's the same logic that I had before, right? It's actually a little bit complicated. So I really should have like this should go into is it X? No. I'm looking for the best copy of it. That's the problem, it's copied everywhere. It's where we enumerate the self columns. I'm just going to pull this code out. Or I could just redo it. It's right in here. It's like I have this X here, right? Okay, where do I set X in the up? I set it up here, right? Way up here somewhere. I don't, oh, right here. Okay, that's where I set X. Yeah, this is nasty. Nasty code. Let's paste, make it even more nasty. This is not return false, this would be break. Next X is X plus column width. If next X is greater than the right, or it's the last column, then it's the clipping rectangle right. Otherwise, it's the next X. Actually, it should be let column width equals column width. If X plus column width is greater than the right, or it's the last column, then column width is the right minus the X. And make that one mutable. Get rid of the else. Then we use column width instead of column dot width. Okay, let's see if that works. Fresh air again. Cool, so yeah, so no matter what the width of the column is, it'll extend it all the way to the right and clip correctly. That's good. Okay, finally I have what I want. So it basically it ignores the last column's width, and if the column isn't even visible, it doesn't even draw the text at all. So it's not even drawing any of that column if it's not visible. You know what I just noticed? We're indenting even though we should be aligning these. That's a bug. I think what I need to do is when X gets out, did I just introduce this bug maybe? I think I might have just introduced this bug. We don't want to go the column, we don't want to add the column width. We want to ignore the column indent. Yeah, so that's here, right? If column number equals 0, X minus equal indent. Hey, Hikaru, how are you doing? I'm doing like ugly GUI stuff. Hey, look, I fixed it. I might be near the end of messing around with this GUI and moving on to more fun things. I kind of feel like I don't want to do the ugly refactoring until I actually get this to show real data. This is doing what I want. It's behaving exactly the way I want. I can't unselect by clicking outside the region, though. Do I care? I don't think I really care. What desktop environment am I using? Yeah, I'm using Xubuntu, so XFCE on Ubuntu inside of Parallels virtual machine on a Mac Studio. All right, I'm happy with this as long as this works. That's weird. So if I drag beyond the window and I drag back, it doesn't immediately show up. Look at that. That's really weird. So now it's not showing up, but now it did. That's odd. There's like a delay or something. What the heck is that? What's going on with that? Huh. It's like it loses track of the fact that it's dragging until I kind of move the mouse around a little bit, and then it's like, oh, okay, it should go there. What if I spend some time way over here? Will it take longer to pull it back? Maybe. I spend a long time over here just moving around while I'm holding the mouse button down, just moving the mouse and then move back. Actually, I think that is the problem. It's like when it's way out here, it's like dragging off into infinity or something. I'm gonna just call it a bug and we'll fix that later. Investigate. Weird bug that happens if you drag a column divider off screen and then back. The column divider doesn't reappear until you drag the cursor around it for a while. Just a second. Okay, so we can highlight areas. We can select things. Right now I'm hard coding the file here. I think I would like to have a traditional like menu. Or do I even need that? I need some way to like set the data file and the format file. And that would be in this info overlay, wouldn't it? So like before we make the data tree and the hex editor, right here. So we make the hex editor and the data tree. Oh, we're not plumbing the selection back out. I should probably do that. Hey there, Scott B. Using XFCE and Ubuntu on Mac Air, that's been had the Apple cord out. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but cool. You mean like you're just running Ubuntu directly, not in a VM? So where we define the response, right? Yeah, this row selected. Yep, okay, that's what I thought you meant. This is old code, isn't it? On click in rows. Oh, I forgot I wrote all this stuff. Dang. Okay, well, if I already have all this code to figure out what row we selected, why don't we just test that it works? I even have all this like margin junk and stuff. I should have used this, right? Okay, well, be something that we have to refactor out. Well, Linux is a simpler operating system. Give you that. Simpler is a lot of times is better, right? Less bloat. So it's this commented out thing that I want to get out, right? So this should be something like if let some row token then it's the row token is selected. And this should return some. So option. So see when you see me do T option instead of capital option, it's because T is, if I hold it down and press O, it makes it a capital. But if I do it too fast, it becomes TO. Row token, right? Okay, so here, it's deep in here. We want to get this out. So I think what I'll do is I'll say let mute. Oh, wait, I have a token here. Oh, this is, okay. This is doing two things. It's seeing like if you clicked on the expand collapse button or if you select the row itself. So let's just keep it simple. Selected row. And we'll return selected row at the end. And then here we do selected row equals some token. I don't get it. Why is this a problem? Value assigned is never read. Never read. It's read down here. Oh, because we're not, am I not using on click in rows? No, I'm using it. Why does it think I'm not using it? That goes up to there. that is the same variable. I think it's just broken. So we get a data tree response. I mean, let's say if data tree response dot row selected. So again, if you see a space I, it means I didn't hold down the or I use the wrong. If I use the wrong shift key, then it looks like a space I. No, it's if I don't hold down the right shift key long enough. Okay, let's see if this works. It's already 8:30. Yeah, time flies when you're debugging. Okay, it's not working. It's not working. Okay. Why not working? Oh, is it because of this move? Do I need that move? I don't need that move. So what it was doing, it was, I think, moving. It was making selected row a new value, a new owned value, moving the old one in, and then discarding it, not updating the original. I think it's working. 3, 4, 5. Cool. All right, that's enough to actually get the real parsing to work because and to be useful, because what I want is like if I click a row, then the info overlay should say with that row token, we will have associated that with a data component. So find the data component, ask it what its origins, offset, and length are, and it should like select that region of the hex editor. And then if we select a byte in the hex editor, similarly, we would try to find which innermost data component contains that byte. Make sure this still works. I don't have the logging hooked up, so the logs are disappearing. So if I turn them into print lines, we'll see it. Yeah, so highlighting should be okay, but if I click a byte, right, I wanted to say, well, okay, what component contains that byte? But first I need a way to select a file. So I need a menu bar, and then I need a menu that like pops up a file picker. Hey there, Amy. Sir, I see the artist formerly known as Ramy, or the artist currently known as Ramy, in chat. How are you doing, sir? Have you seen this, Ramy? We now have the data tree, and I can select things in there. And I don't know, you probably saw me doing the hex editor, I think, right? But maybe not the data tree. The code behind this is an awful mess right now, but it's functional. At some point I got to refactor it, but it's nice and it works. I can collapse things. Yeah. We have like even like little dotted things. So like I can show you how it's pixel perfect, which was, I had to do a hack where we had to round the coordinates to an integer and then add 0.5 for some reason. So we have to put the lines on coordinates that are between 2 pixels. It might be that if the coordinates are aligned to the side of a pixel, then 0.5 would be the middle of the pixel. And then this makes sense that to get pixel perfect, your coordinates have to be mid-pixel, right? So I haven't done that for the header. So you can see the header box is smeared because it's not on, it's not pixel perfect. It's not on the right boundary. So if I wanted to be if I was a perfectionist, which I am, and I wanted to spend time on it, which I don't, I would go in and try to do the same pixel perfection hack where you align it to the nearest 0.5 coordinate. And I wonder if the text would look less smeary with that too. Well, the text is kind of weird in that you have curves in there, and so it tends to like not matter if it's not perfectly aligned. Okay, how do I do a menu bar? I do a menu bar. Hey there, puppy. Come here. Come here. Come here, puppy. Here's a puppy. Newly groomed. That's right. You're such a good puppy. You're such a good puppy. That's right. She's looking for morsels that the cat might have left behind. Okay, how do I make one of these menu bars? Do they have an example? Context menu. Oh, there we go. Context menu would be great, right? Because actually, they have a file picker that if I could combine a context menu with a file clicker, then you could just do right click and then select a file. If they don't have a file picker, I'll be sad. I don't see a file picker. Erg. Can't call an OS's native file picker because we're drawing in an eGUI context, right? eGUI being an immediate mode GUI. So our native drawing interface is WGPU, not, so we're bypassing the OS's native stuff. Oh, do you need to go outside? Yeah, we don't have a doggy door, so I have to let her up manually. So then let's ask find. Is there a file picker widget in eGUI? No built-in file picker. There's a separate library called eGUI file that provides a file dialog widget doc.rs. Okay, well that's promising. So it's an eGUI file. There we go. I like it. So there's no like they don't show a directory tree here. I wonder if Doctor Space standalone library modify for use cases. Do they have documentation? Dialog type. Select folder, open file. So I could have two of them side by side, one that selects a folder and then another one that opens a file. I don't know, let's play with this. So what are we on? Version 0.11? It depends on eGUI 0.23. What are we on? 0.23? Hope. Yes. Great. So eGUI file. Why don't they use the same version number then? Underscore, not a dash. They're not following the conventions. Numbers different. Underscore instead of dash. Okay, but then I still need a menu bar, right? How do I add a menu bar? Or actually, no, I was going to do the context menu instead, right? Context menu, source code. So it's eGUI menu new. How do we say where to show it though? I'm guessing it has a secret way of using the context to store its location. We just have to give it a name. Okay, so it's just dot context menu. And then we say, is context menu open? Maybe it defaults to the top of the context. I'm just wondering where it saves its state. I was looking for like vscroll resizable at location, and yeah, it doesn't have the location at all. It's like it must organize it by itself. Look at this bad cat that tried to sneak behind me to get at my stuff. You're a bad cat. You're a bad cat. Go away. What? What? She tried to get behind me to get at my stuff. Go away. Did I take a look at Godot yet? Did someone ask me to look at Godot? Are we waiting for Godot? Godot. As in the game engine? If I was doing games, which I can't do because of job rules, then maybe I would look at that. I'm not sure where that came from, Tinspin. So if I even were to look at Godot, I couldn't use it here because of job rules. Number 1, can't involve game development. So I think that makes Godot, Unity, and Unreal all forbidden. Okay. So let's see if I can. So what's this self-nested menus thing? Nested menus. You're waiting for Godot 4.2 plus .NET 8. Apparently allows APK. You have to make a VR game for your Quest 2. Off stream, I could. But I don't have any time off stream. I'll tell you what I do off stream. I sleep, I eat, and I go to work. Occasionally I watch a show. Oh, and World of Warcraft. I just don't have any free time. I give you guys all my free time. Literally. I guess if I wasn't streaming, I might be doing something like that. But yeah, I haven't looked at Godot. I was writing the game in my own engine, really. Still waiting for that WoW stream. No one's gonna watch it. No one will watch me play WoW. I tried and no one did watch me. And then I'm like, I at least shouldn't use my main account because of what Chris said. That's why he has 2 accounts. He games on his other account because he is a completely like almost like no one watches it, and the people that do like are usually like different people that watch his mainstream. I play the retail. I've been playing it since Wrath of the Lich King with the same guild. Don't even like WoW, so then you wouldn't watch. I don't watch WoW streamers. I don't watch game streamers anyway. You would, but you don't like WoW. Ah, that's a pinky promise, right? That's okay. You don't need to promise. I'm trying to figure out like what this self-nested menus is. Is that a function? I guess I gotta search. It is. It's a function. So I guess it's like if the context menu is open, then it gives us a menu with stuff in it. You only watch game streamers on the latest cool games until they become yesterday's news. Yeah, I sometimes will watch a game streamer if they're playing a game that I'm not sure if I want to play or not. But you have to watch out for if it's the kind of game with spoilers. But yeah, it could definitely help to like evaluate is it the kind of game that you want to play. Oh, the dog needs to come in. Hold on. Do you need to come inside? Be nice. Okay, sorry, I had to let the dog in. So this demo there was a click to get a menu, right click for menu. I see. So a right click on a button gives you the context menu. Left click on this gives you a menu. Menu button. Got it. Okay, whether it's open or closed is this thing. Okay. Oh, cat and the dog. The dog is being intimidated by the cat. So where's that plot? Okay, so it's just dot context menu on anything then. So does that mean I can do like dot context menu? Can't do it there. Can I do it in here? Dot context menu. Nope. Context menu. Can't do it there. So what actually has context menu? A response has a context menu. Okay, so anything that I have a response for. What is UI.horizontal? Not sure where we were looking to see that. Dot horizontal. You mean their example? Oh yeah, that's just it's like a layout, a horizontal layout. so that they put the buttons like plot, button grid in a horizontal layout in their example here. I don't know where I don't know which one we're looking at, but button grid plot. There's plot. Is that the button grid? I'm not sure. No, it's the radio buttons. Example plot. Well, they only have one thing in a horizontal. Maybe that's what I should be doing, actually. Instead of this, these panels, side panel, central panel. Well, here we go. We got a context menu. What if we just show a button? Button. Click me. What do we get for that? Did you make a tile map format? I just use a ping, a PNG. Working on yours and you're hesitating between fixed map and RLE. Right, run length encoded. I just used a fixed map for mine. Panels have the resizable thing. Yes, that's what this does. But I'm wondering if horizontal lets me do it too. The UI operator, it's not an operator. It's where were we? This is a function object. So this thing takes a function object, the fn's. Fn once is the kind of function object that it promises it's only going to call once. So that means it can own data. So it's just giving us a callback. It's giving us an immediate callback saying, okay, draw the inside of the context menu. So if I right click, okay. Oh, there we go. I have a click me. If I click outside of my stuff, I get it. Click me. Okay. So now I know how to make a context menu if I want. I don't have one inside of the hex editor. I guess I should figure that out at some point, but let's do a menu instead. So that would be like UI.menu, right? Menu. Let's ask find. How do you add a menu bar in eGUI? Time flies, my friends. I gotta do work soon. You are wooed? Yeah, my game was simple graphics, so it was just a grid of tiles. It was very simple. It's like 16 by 16, I think, tiles. Menu bar function, which creates a menu. So how would I create that menu? Bar? Menu bar? Oh, there we go. So UI, right? Add contents is one of these things. And I guess we get back a response, right? Menu button. Title. Let's just keep it simple for now. I'll make this more elaborate later. So data. UI. Actually, how does menu button work? Oh, okay, so you just put a button inside it. Oh wait, no. A menu button opens a UI. So I would do something like file. And here I would do like UI.button data. Clicked. And then here's where I would pull up that file menu thing, right? Oh, it's stateful. Okay. So then I have to like have some, I have to store it somewhere. Open file takes none. We'll just do none. So I have to store it somewhere. I guess we'll do it this way. How about data file dialog? Okay. None. None shall pass. Kind of want to do this a little bit more cleanly, like this. There we go. Okay, so then they show that like we have if let sum and where would I put that? I guess I could put it anywhere. I could put it here. So I don't know. This is UI.ctx, right? And then let's just do a write line or print line for now. Should open file. And where do we close it? I don't know. Do we? I guess I would close it after it's opened, right? Yeah, this is gonna keep it open, I think, but that's okay. File, it's not null propagation. It tells it to use the debug trait instead of the display trait. Oh, look at that. Our menu didn't go away though. So stage is where I want to go. Lol.gif. Open. Should open lol.gif. So how does it know that it's been destroyed? It's probably sticking around, just not visible, right? The dialog probably it probably has some old state. The question. Yeah, so this uses the debug trait. What the error here is, it's going to say that a path doesn't implement the display trait, which it's because a path is not constrained to be Unicode, so you can't display it implicitly. You have to say, well, how do you display it? So I could take the file path and do a lossy Unicode conversion. So if non-Unicode sequences are in there, it would like show them as little question mark characters. Or I could just say use the display trait, and then that does its best, or it's like does some like lossy conversion that you'd expect for a debug. But yeah, I wanted to explain a little bit more. Selected means destroyed. Oh, I see. Yeah, so maybe it's not selected anymore if it's been closed, or so it's. I think the dialog is sticking around. We're just not seeing it because it's not selected, right? The fact that we have it or not just bugs me, right? The fact that it's an option. Maybe it shouldn't be an option. So, well, I'll figure that out later. I want to get this actually working. So there needs to be a method of the hex editor, right? To actually this hex editor, we need to tell it to open the file. Right now, okay, right now it's just given here. So I need to I need this part to be brought out. Either that or we make a new, maybe I just make a new hex editor every time you open up a new file. There's something that says, like, there's nothing here that's really that, yeah, this cache won't apply if you change the data file. Highlights won't, yeah. Why don't I just make a new hex editor every time we do that, so that info overlay is mutable anyway, right? Yeah, we're making a new one anyway. Yeah, so shouldn't this bitstream just be like not passed in, but selected from add content? Why are we holding on to the hex editor in the first place? Oh, I know why. Because it has state. It's stateful. Okay, so then so this must be something we create once then. Yes. Okay. So here's where we need to replace it with the real file, right? I think I know what I want to do. I want the app to be in control of this, so that means I want the info overlay to actually pass us back a message, which we have ready to go right here. Open data file. Path. Buff. Okay, and then so this will actually use its sender, storing its sender, because we're going to use that down here. This should be self.sender.send message app message open data file. Drop the result we get after sending. We have to clone it to owned. There we go. So this then moves to where we handle the message. I'm surprised that I added that. Do we not handle messages? Handle message. Oh, we're just doing this. Oh, then we'll, if I do a print line, we'll see it, right? Cool. So now the message to open the file should move down to this print. So I do file data, and then I need to like get rid of the context menu when this opens up, right? Stage. Yep, open data file. There it is. Okay, then they need to change hex editor so that it doesn't need a bitstream to start up, right? Okay, so yeah. Don't I want another method then? Well, it really doesn't go there, it goes here. Select bitstream. So bitstream equals bitstream. Yeah, we're gonna want to clear this cache. Hopefully there's a method for that. Clear. Clear. Bitstream length needs to be recalculated. Okay, what else? We should clear highlights. Probably should clear drag state. I don't think it matters. Okay, then let's get rid of this entirely. And this. Bitstream is none. Bitstream length is 0. You should consider adding a default. Yes, we should. Generate a new default. Thank you. Okay, then back in here, we can't actually pass the bitstream in. We have to do, we have to create it and then set it. Select, which means it has to be mutable. Okay, let me make sure that that works. Then I just do select bitstream in the correct place. Okay, so that worked. So then we're going to move this to do. Where was it? Where did I put it? Oh, this new moves out. So that actually needs to be another method of info overlay. Select bitstream. Hey there, C17R. Greetings, program. This is self.hexeditor.select bitstream. Sum. Well, make that an option. Then it'll work, right? And then this doesn't need to do that there anymore. And then the problem moves up a level to here. So yeah, this let that equal, and then it's this in mute info overlay dot set select bitstream, that's just info overlay now. Sum, make sure it works. And now we're one step away from actually loading the real file. Cool, that works. So then this, along with this, moves into the message handler. Right here. So match message. Path. So it's file open path, right? And self.input overlay. There we go. This doesn't need to be mutable anymore. We don't need a debug. Let's try it. Hex editor doesn't need to be mutable anymore. So this should pop up and show nothing. Okay, and then I do file data and go to stage lull. And we have our GIF. Okay. Now I want to add the formats. And the way I want this to work is this will be unpopulated until you add a format. And then we have to be able to like select a format. I don't have enough time to do this, but the next thing to do will be, there'll be like a select, like you'll pop in format files one at a time. And as long as you dropped in a format file and you select a top level format, it'll parse it and show you the parse results here. That is a C17R, I know. So if you want to see more of C17R, Ramy, you need to find out what other channels he hangs out in. Sounds like you haven't seen a C17R in a while. I wonder how I set the icon up here. I think I have enough time to add the format stuff. So let's do that. So that's, again, an info overlay. This doesn't need to be mutable. Let's fix warnings as we go. That stuff, we'll keep it for now. Yeah, we're going to have two different dialogues, right? Really, I could fold them into one, but they could be separate. So this is format file dialog. It's none to start out with. Sender goes there. Okay. So yeah, we just have another dialog to show. If we have a dialog for format, then it's open format file. And then we actually, in the show, we got to show it, right? We have to have the menu. Where's my menu? Right here. So we're going to add another other button. Format. Formats. So this is format. Actually, it should be formats. Okay, so we need another type of message. Open formats file. It's plural because you can have multiple formats in the same file. Okay. Path again. And we're not opening up a bitstream. This is... What are we going to do here? I think our app should be the one that owns the parser, right? So No, the formats. Actually, it's a parser instance, right? So parser. Gotta make one. Let parser equal parser new. Right, because it starts with no formats in it. That's a path. Okay, so in here, I want to do self.parser dot parse lexer new input, which is file path file open path. We're just panicking for now. Read. It's like read read all or something. Read to string. You need a buffer for that. I thought there was a way to just get all of it out. What did I do for the parser, for the ingest, for the main in ingest? Read to string. That's what I did. And so I didn't even mess with file, actually. It's just read to string, and I gave it the path. And then I unwrapped that. Okay. Unwrap. Unwrap everything. And then we have to borrow. Okay. So I guess what I'll do is after doing that, we'll just to make sure it's working, we'll print out all the formats. So print line, well, it's for format in self.parser.formats.keys format. Okay. So now it's parsing formats, and then the last step would be if we have both the bit stream and a formats and we select a tuple of format, it should parse it. Okay, so we're testing the formats part, right? So we're loading up some formats. So that's under stage gif.format. Do I have to actually press the open button? I would like to double click to open. Okay, there it goes. Hey, look, it worked. Neat. I don't need this anymore. Let's close it. All right. I don't have enough time to do this because I got to go to work now, but like the last step would be, well, not the last step. The next step would be, in addition to picking files for data and formats, there needs to be a menu option to like select the top level format, and then it should do the ingestion and all of that. Also, it would be cool if it remembered the last thing we had open, right? So one thing to look up is, can we go to like the OS specific like key value storage to where we can store like what's the last data file we had open? And we can like just see if it's still there, we can open it in the hex editor. The same thing with the formats, right? So it'd be nice if every time we closed it and opened it, we just got back to where we were. Well, you're welcome, Raimi and Nightshade Dude. We'll get there. Message open formats file, open data file. I'll leave it at that and we'll go raid someone. I wish I could do more. I wish I didn't have job sometimes, but I have job. Well, we were just talking about Godot a little bit ago. What if we raid Jackie Codes who's doing a Godot con post-mortem? Here we go. Well, thank you, Trevisted. Probably won't be able to stream again until tomorrow morning, so I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.